Let's go ahead and tour the interface of the SharkJack display. I'm here in the main menu of arming mode, and I can see that the interface is broken up into four main parts. We have payloads, tools, settings, and about. And so let's go ahead and just talk about those four. So payloads is the section that's going to let you execute payloads, manage them, install new payloads. Tools is where you're going to manage loot, clients, and SharkLink if you, say, have two sharks. Settings is where you can configure everything from your arming mode to your payload settings to the appearance and even software updates. And then about is where you can get information about the current state of the system, the network, storage, and services. So let's just jump into payloads and talk through these. In payloads, we've got our armed payloads, browse payloads, and get payloads. So armed payloads is going to be the payload that we have decided to execute on boot every time if we don't cancel during that timeout window. And from there, armed payloads, we can either execute our armed payload or we can remove it. Within browse payloads, we can actually see all of the available payloads, and we'll get more into that in a bit. And then there's get payloads, and that's going to allow us to download the latest payloads from the Hack5 community library. So let's go ahead and get into browse payloads here, and you'll see that this is set up into two different sections. You've got downloaded and my payloads. All right, well, downloaded. Those are going to be the payloads that have been downloaded from the Hack5 community repository, as well as the built-in payloads that come out of the box. And it's important to note this distinction that it is separate from the My Payloads section, which are payloads that have been imported from downloaded or made directly by you, the user, on the device. And there's an important caveat there, because I will say that the My Payloads section over here will not be overwritten. What I mean by that is that when you update payloads, when you use that get payloads feature, it's going to grab the latest. It's going to get the updates, it's going to get the new payloads, and it's going to overwrite the payloads that you have in that downloaded folder. So you're going, oh, but what if I want to make some tweaks? Well, let's get into that. All right, let's go into, say, downloaded and go ahead and see an example payload. And so, of course, we have examples, general, recon, util. These are the different categories. They're actually just subdirectories, as we'll see when we get deeper. But I'm going to go into general here and see this first payload. This is actually a game. It's a little memory game, right? I'm going to choose this payload as an example to show you that obviously we have the ability to go ahead and run this payload here. We can set it as default, which means that that will become our armed payload. This is the one that will execute by default whenever we boot up the device, or we can import the payload or remove the payload. Importing the payload, what it's going to do is it's going to move that payload out of the downloaded section and then into the My Payloads section. And that's important because once it's in that My Payloads section, it's not going to be overwritten whenever you go to fetch new payloads from the community repository. So I can actually do that here if I want. I'm going to say go ahead and import, and there you go. So we'll go back, payloads, we'll browse payloads. And now, when I go into my payloads, we'll see that I have that Sharky memory game. We'll go back. That's my only imported payload currently. So, good thing to keep in mind. Let's now head over to tools and talk through some of those. So, if I go back, and back is always the last option. Obviously, you've probably figured out by now, just watching me, that when you go into a menu, if back is the last option, you can always press up to wrap around to the bottom of the list and go back pretty quickly. But within tools, you have manage loot, view clients, SharkLink. So manage loot is where you are going to be able to see your loot, clear your loot. And when I say loot, that is quite simply the log files or potentially even exfiltrated files generated by a payload. Okay, it's just a fun hacker word for log files and exfiltrated files. The other element in here is clients, and this kind of harkens back to what we were discussing previously about net mode. Obviously, it says no active leases found. Those leases are DHCP leases. So you guys know I have this plugged into my switch, and best practice obviously is to have this in net mode DHCP client when it's a client of my network plugged into my switch. But if it were plugged into my computer, I would have it in net mode DHCP server, in which case it would offer a lease to my my computer as a client of its network. And that lease would be the DHCP lease, where it would get an IP address, and we would tell it all sorts of other stuff about the netmask and the hostname and other goodies there. So your under the tools menu, you can go into your leases and you can actually manage those clients that are connected to it, because you can, you know, run any number of clients on this network, more than just one. You can connect it to a switch. You can connect all sorts of clients to it if you want. And then lastly, we come back in here, we have SharkLink, which we'll discuss in greater detail in a separate section. But essentially, if we had two Shark jacks plugged into a network, obviously this one, we could assume that they could see each other, but not necessarily, depending on the VLANs. But if we had multiple ports or multiple outlets within a larger facility, SharkLink is the tool that will allow you to see, hey, can these two Shark jacks communicate with each other? And it'll try to traverse all of the VLANs and firewalls in various ways, and then even allow you to see, okay, if they can see each other, can they communicate? So that's that tool right there. It's pretty cool, and we're very excited about it. Okay, moving on, past tools, we then have settings, and settings is where we came in previously to discuss our net mode, but we have settings that are specific to this session, to the defaults. So arming mode, you know, every time we come into arming mode, we've got our payload settings. We've gone into there and seen about the auto run. We also have within appearance, we can change the backlight, we can change the theme, we can change the LED color, the screensaver. We do have some fun screensavers in here. Highly recommend checking out the toaster one. And then we also have some of the advanced options, I want to say buried, a little bit buried in here. Got specific boot settings, network configuration for that, your protected arming mode. So those are that. And then at the very end here, we have system, where you've got the opportunity to check for updates, new firmware updates. This is how you can do that over the air, as it were, plugged into your network with an internet connection. The SharkJack will download the latest firmware, install it right on device, no computer necessary. And then similarly, we can factory reset or reboot the device from that menu. And then that brings us now back to the main, where our last section is about. And this is a section where, if you're using it as a DHCP client, you may frequently come in here from the about, the first one, networking, at the very top. We're going to see our network mode. As we see, we're in DHCP client mode, and there's our IP address, the thing that we're going to need to SSH in. It's right there, as well as other information about the link state, their host name, the gateway, transmitted packets, leases, shells, things of that nature. Similarly, within system, we can check the firmware version, the charging state, the date, the uptime, the LED state, things of that nature. And then within storage, we can see our available memory, how many payloads, how much loot, how many packages we have installed. And then within services, we can talk about SSH, whether SSH is currently enabled, whether it's set up on boot, whether it's set up for arming mode, NTP, network time protocol, how the Shark knows what time it is, whether that is currently enabled, whether it's enabled on boot, and then finally Cloud C2. If you're using our free Cloud C2 system that allows you to manage all your Hack5 devices remotely and then perform pen tests right from that web interface, this of course supports that, and you have the ability to set that up on boot. And that is a brief tour of the interface. I hope you guys enjoyed that. In the very next section, we're going to go ahead and launch our first payload. I hope you'll join me.